killers trifling. You can end up with your life gone if you don't get out the way. I'm in the club out, drunk as fuck. Throw in my setup if another nigga push me better. Get out the way. When you see me going to that trunk, ready to grab that pump, make that shit dump, pump, get out the way.
Lazy out in the VIP, holding it down. Forget the crystal, man, my niggas pouring the crown. Hicking up about some liquor, I'm controlling it now. I'm holding a pound, that'll leave a hole in the crowd. Blow. Ace in the club, wildin' out. We get it hot off in this bitch, call the firehouse. If a nigga in my way, we gonna stomp him out. Have it looking like we trying to put a fire out. Nigga, catch your breath. You in my way, it's only right that you catch the left. I'm on the edge and you about to push me over the cliff. The ratchet explode, how you leaking all over yourself. Ew. ST, you hear a bunch of niggas tripping, sipping on the Belvedere, wrist, neck, little like a chandelier. I'm in the caddy while you crack up in the Cavalier. Yeah, I'm taking over the spot, cocking the Glock. I'm in here calling the shots. I do this shit every weekend if I'm balling or not. I got it on live, believe that the boy don't stop. Nope. I put a hole through you and your crew. When you see me and my niggas bet the move, please don't make me show and prove. Oh, you know what to do.
When you see that Cadillac coming through on them blades with them Carolina blades, bitch, get out the way. Stepping out with my ice on me and my killers trifling. You can end up with your life gone if you don't get out the way. I'm in the club out, drunk as fuck. Throw in my setup if another nigga push me better. Get out the way. When you see me going to that trunk, ready to grab that pump, make that shit dump, pump, get out the way.
We shouldn't have left you without a dope beat.
It's hour number 3 of the Doug Stewart Show. Let's go. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
We shouldn't have left you
Well, actually, good afternoon. Yes, sir.
What would you do to get to me? What would you say to have your way? Would you give up or try again? If I hesitate to let you in, now would you be yourself?
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. The number is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. A little NFL talk, man. Carolina Panthers quarterback Cam Newton is taking some throws for the first time since undergoing surgery to repair a partially torn rotator cuff in March. The portion of Newton's recovery was documented by the team website. He threw 45 passes to head trainer Ryan Vermillion in the locker room and sets up 15 throws from 3 different positions. Here's a quote. Obviously, it's still not 100%, but seeing the ball come out of my hand and the throwing motion was good, Newton told the website. When I say it's not 100%, I'm noting the range of motion part. Like if you sleep with your legs hanging off your bed the whole night, you're going to wake up and be super stiff, or like sitting on your hands or sitting in an awkward position and finally getting up and moving. That's how I feel. He underwent surgery to repair the tear on March 30th, following statistically his worst year of his career. The schedule called for him to rehab with no throwing for the first 12 weeks and begin throwing for 4 weeks with Vermillion. So happy to hear that, man. Get better, Cam. It was absolute criminal. It was criminal the way they beat that man up last year, and like the officials let it happen. And so this guy is taking a beating throughout his NFL career. But I hope he doesn't go out there, speaking of Mike Vick, and do what Vick did after he came back from that injury. The injury I just talked about in the last segment when he broke his leg in the preseason. When he came back, man, he had just stopped being Michael Vick. He tried so hard to stay in the pocket. And when he got hurt, who was it? It was the Baltimore Ravens, I think it was. And it was just a bad, break, literally and figuratively, pun intended, and what happened when he got hurt. But when he came back, man, all of the talk that entire season was about he needs to change the way he plays. He needs to stay in the pocket. And that man came back and he did that. And he was not the same player. He was not the same player. And then when he went to jail, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, when he went to jail and when he came out, I think the boys in his cellmates was telling him, man, you need to go back to being the old Mike Vick. Because when that ninja got out of jail and he went to Philadelphia, he was like vintage Vick, like his first couple of years, and he just, did what he does. So I hope Cam doesn't go out there, man, and try to play, safe and stay in the pocket and all that. He just got to be him and play the game that the good Lord has allowed him to play and go out there and pass the football, throw the ball downfield and run. That's part of his repertoire. Yeah, you may not have an extended or extend your career for a couple of extra years, but I think your chances of winning a Super Bowl, winning a title, doing just what you do is much better. And one last little football story, man, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Keyshawn Johnson, man, it says he's in full support of his son, Keyshawn Johnson Jr., of an extended leave, having an extended leave from the Nebraska football program. That's right. He told the Omaha World Herald that he is in full support of the decision, which was a mutual one among himself, Nebraska coach Mike Riley, and the athletic department, and his son, Keyshawn Johnson Jr. He wants him to mature for 6 months before he decides whether to return to Nebraska, and Johnson didn't hide his disappointment with his son, with some of the quotes that he made to the Nebraska Herald. Once again, his son basically got caught up in a little weed situation, the sticky icky. Here's a quote from Keyshawn Johnson. "You're in college now," Johnson Sr. said. "You're an adult. You're not a kid. You take a look at it from afar and let me know how important it is to you. One thing you will not do as my son is you will not embarrass Nebraska. You will not embarrass Mike Riley, and you will not embarrass this family," the elder Johnson said. "If you're mature and you're ready to resume your football career and academic goals, then Nebraska will be ready to embrace you." I guess he's saying anymore because he's technically already embarrassed everybody that he just mentioned with this whole weed situation. One last quote from Keyshawn Johnson. "You've watched on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Everything's a big party," Johnson said. Senior said. "You just want to get to college to party, but you don't understand. You're playing college football. It's a business. It's a serious business. If you want to become successful, make it to the NFL, you've got to embrace it." That's a little presumptive right there, talking about a kid making it to the NFL. Maybe the kid's already talked to his daddy and said, they've had conversations that he wants to play in the NFL just like his pops did. You've got to own it. You don't make it to the next level by cruising. There's no cruise control. I agree with Keyshawn on all points made. I do. I do, man. I said it last week, man. There's no shortcuts. Like, there's a lot of cats with talent, but talent ain't enough. You got to put in extra work. When your competitors are at home asleep, you need to be in the gym. You need to be running. You need to be getting in some extra cardio. You got to do extra. Because everybody's pretty much on the same level. If you make it in college, the thing that separates, one player from another, it ain't talent. I mean, once in a while, you're just supremely talented than your competitor or your peers. But most of the time, these guys are pretty much on the same level. What are you doing extra? And also the point that Keyshawn made about getting to college and just wanting to have a good time and party, I can feel it. I feel him. I can dig it. Oh, man, I can dig it. Oh, man, that first couple of days at college, man, when you just seeing all of this free newtsy, it is free. Yeah, man. Your first couple of days in college, I mean, even when I went to little small Newberry College, man, it was just like, Lord have mercy, I'm free. All of this free newtsy just floating around. But when I went to South Carolina State College, man, the first couple of days, man, I had to recalibrate. This is just too much. This is Shangri-La for dudes. Yeah. I mean, it's very, just everything around you. You don't have mom and daddy around. You got all this freedom. You can go to class if you want to go. You don't have to go to class. Y'all know, most of y'all know that went to college. You don't have to go to class. You can just handle your business and go to class when you want and just chase newtsy all day long. You know, after 12 noon, after lunch, you and your boys, your line brothers can go get a 6-pack of beer. Yeah. From LD, he says Keyshawn equals fake-ass Jerry Rice wannabe. From Thorny Kumquat Switch, Keyshawn taking away the mainstream media's commentary by saying all of this. Maybe. And it is a little bit, you know, it seems like he's grandstanding a little bit, you know, with these statements about all of this moral character and whatnot. But, I mean, at the end of the day, what he's saying is exactly true. You know, he's saying to his son, look, man, you got to grow up. You know, you got to handle your business. You got to be more responsible. So I'm not mad at him. From Brian Hill, key on his extra high Trojan horse. I mean, but isn't that what a daddy's supposed to be or do? Yeah. I agree with him. See, a lot of y'all think that it's, once again, grandstanding, as I said. But it is what it is. Everything that the guy said about his son, he had enrolled into school early. You know, a lot of these athletes do that now where they enroll before the actual fall term comes around so they can kind of get a jump start on, you know, getting acclimated to campus, the playbook, and they're probably doing some 7-on-7 with their quarterbacks or whatever. You've seen these kids do that a lot more frequently in the last couple of years. So that's what his son did. And his son got up there, man, and was running wild from all indications. And so he's got to rein him back in a little bit and saying that you're not going to attend school for these first 6 months. And, yeah, you get pulled out of that atmosphere, all of that fun, all of that newtsy once again, and you got to go home, and Keyshawn should probably make his ass get a job or something at McDonald's, you know, make a minimum wage so he can understand what he left and what, you know, if he doesn't get his act together, what he's probably going to be destined to doing. My old man should do all types of stuff like that with us as well. And so, yeah, make his ass get a little, you know, minimum wage job and, you know, put a shovel in his hand or something, have him digging ditches or something for these 6 months. And I bet you, when that kid go back to school, he'll have a whole new perspective on handling his business. I bet you. Clay St. Patrick Davis, Doug, was walking around SU the first few days with a damn tent. You damn right. Yes. A pitch tent. Yes. Rough Buff X Squad, class between 8 and 12, chasing Newtsy, Tonk, Spades, Lunch. I'll add a 12-pack to your list as well. Practice at 3 p.m. Yeah. I mean, I'm not talking about it as an athlete from an athlete's perspective or whatever. I'm talking about just a regular student. From ducking and dodging, make him work at McDonald's so Doug can criticize him about making a Sunday. No. That's a comment based on something that happened to me probably a year and a half ago that the Stewies still remember. These kids at these fast food restaurants don't take pride in their craft like we used to back in the day. My first job was at McDonald's. But anyway, I wouldn't even make it a situation where he has a choice in the matter. If I'm Keyshawn Johnson, they're in California, I believe. So if I'm Keyshawn Johnson, I'm calling Carl's Jr., In-N-Out Burger, or whatever. Do y'all have any positions available? This is Keyshawn Johnson. I want my son to come down there and work for minimum wage so he can learn a lesson. Surely he can get that man a job at McDonald's or whatever fast food restaurant. Surely. You don't understand how good you got it, man, until it's gone, until it's taken away from you. He'll straighten his shit up. Hey, back in 3 minutes, the Doug Stewart Show.
Check. Writing, my shit so exciting. Get up on any nigga beat and start to get the